Hello, and welcome to a very special edition of Other Items of Interest with your host, Jack Zablocki. This very special pod is dedicated to poops and farts in the news. We've gone completely lowbrow. Hope you enjoy. Welcome to a best-of edition of Other Items of Interest. I'm your host, Jack Zablocki. I don't know if you want to call it a best of, I guess that's a matter of opinion, but the episode sure does fit a motif. That motif being poop and a couple of farts. Looking to do a sort of best of compilation of stories, and turned out a lot of stories on poop. There's just a lot of poop in the news, apparently. So that's what the first best of edition of Other Items of Interest turned out to be. Working on a couple of others. I know I mentioned one in the past of ufology, flying saucers and little green men. And I'm sure we can do one on animals, because there's plenty of animal stories. But right now, what we have is poop. I know it's lowbrow. I know it's infantile, immature. It's all those things. But it's also pretty funny. Poop can be funny. So, with that, let's get on with the special edition, shall we? Yes, we shall. From the New York Daily News, nydailynews.com, Nairobi lawmaker wants to put an end to farting on airplanes. That's right. Put an end to farting on airplanes. I guess everything in Nairobi is hunky-dory. This is what they're dealing with. Or this one lawmaker, anyway. And right up top is a picture of an airplane cabin. Bunch of passengers. I guess we're supposed to assume one of them is farting. On September 11th, no less, a Kenyan lawmaker put forth a plan to end what she considers a big problem: mile-high flatulence. Range constituency representative Dr. Lillian Gogo. Her name is spelled G-O-G-O. I'm going to pronounce it Gogo. Might be Gago. I don't know. Dr. Lillian Gogo of Nairobi called for a resolution to people passing gas in airplane cabins during a parliamentary debate Wednesday regarding the National Assembly Committee on Transport, Public Works, and Housing, according to Nairobi News. There is one irritant that is often ignored, and this is the level of farting within the aircraft, Gogo said. There are passengers who it says literary. I think it means literally. There are passengers who literally irritate fellow passengers by passing bad smell and uncomfortable fart. If there is any one given irritant that makes people fight on board, it is the fart. It is terrible within the plane. When pressed by another member of parliament on how exactly Gogo would implement such reform, she said it starts with staff training. We need special training on aircraft crews so that they provide medicines like bicarbonate of soda to passengers after meals and drinks have been served, Gogo reportedly answered. We should also have paramedics who are trained in basic first aid included in the international and local flights. What's a paramedic going to do about farting? I've never called for an EMT because I'm farting up a storm. Gogo told fellow legislators that if she's the only one among them who's encountered this problem, they should consider themselves very lucky. The longer the flight, she argued, the worse the problem. This is ridiculous. We cannot be secure on board when the other passengers are experiencing discomfort, she said. Farting and flatulence is done progressively and can be contained. Gogo also suggested limiting alcohol consumption on flights could amount to less cheese cutting as well. Less cheese cutting. Some top-notch journalism. And from that to this, from NBC4i.com, farts can leak out through your mouth if you hold them in, expert says. What happens when you hold in a fart? According to research, it could be exhaled through your breath. Breath mint? Claire Collins is a professor in nutrition and dietetics at the University of Newcastle in Australia. Her research examines nutrition and dietary intake and how this relates to changes in diet quality, food patterns, weight and health across all ages and stages of life, particularly using technology. According to her essay written on the conversation, Collins explains that gas can be absorbed into the bloodstream, and with nowhere else for it to go, it could eventually escape through the mouth. Trying to hold it in leads to a buildup of pressure and major discomfort. A buildup of intestinal gas can trigger abdominal distension, with some gas reabsorbed into the circulation and exhaled through your breath. Holding on too long means the buildup of intestinal gas will eventually escape via an uncontrollable fart. The research is not clear on whether the rise in pressure in your rectum increases your chance of developing a condition called diverticulitis. I hate that word. I've never been able to say it. Diverticulitis. I'm getting better, though. Where small pouches develop in the gut lining and become inflamed, or whether it doesn't matter at all. So what should you do if the urge to pass gas arises? The next time you feel a large volume of intestinal gas getting ready to do what it does, try to move to a more convenient location, Collins writes. Whether you make it there or not, the best thing for your digestive health is to just let it go. And I think that's some good advice in all walks of life. Just let it go. But especially your farts. Just let it go. You might get a chuckle from somebody, brighten their day a little bit. I think most people, not everybody, most people like a good fart. Either it's from their own stock or a stranger on the street, a friend, a family member, an animal. A good fart is a good fart. That's all there is to it. Smell, on the other hand, depends. Anyway, I just thought this article was fairly interesting. I don't think I've ever had a fart come out my mouth. If you have, dear listener, let us know. Tweet us, email us. I don't know what else, but I'd be fascinated to know. I know the difference between a fart coming out of the mouth and a burp. Burps don't smell like poop. I would hope not. All right, enough of this. This is juvenile. We're above this, right? I don't think so. Tornado of poop. Melrose homes ruined after raw sewage spews from toilets. From WHDH.com. Several Melrose, Massachusetts residents were forced to leave their home when an underground blockage caused raw sewage to spew uncontrollably out of toilets in 4 homes on Thursday. And by the way, you want to check the show notes at otheritemsofinterest.com. There is video of a spewing toilet, if that interests you at all. City workers responding to a call about a possible sewage blockage on Brazil Street around 9:30 a.m. learned the main sewer line was blocked, resulting in a backup of the entire system, Melrose Mayor Gail Inferna said in a statement. The bathrooms in 4 neighborhood homes were left covered in a river of filth and feces when the sewage suddenly poured out without warning. Sylvia Ortiz, who captured video of her toilet overflowing, says the mess has left a rancid stench in her home. I was getting ready for work and then I heard a bubble, she said. It was a crazy scene. It literally just spun and flowed out. Photos of the aftermath showed the entire bathroom coated in sewage. A tornado of poop started forming and started spewing out, Ortiz added. The newly married Ortiz, who has lived on Brazil Street for 4 years, also found her wedding dress soaked in the sewage. She says it will likely take weeks to clean and repair her home. I don't know if you can repair a home after this kind of sewage spill. It destroyed everything. All of the floors, all of the walls need to come out, she said. The whole bathroom has to be gutted. I guess if you gut everything, you can repair it or redo it. The blockage has since been repaired. In a statement, Inferna said, "Our top priority right now is the safety and well-being of the residents of Brazil Street. I've directed my staff to assist residents with emergency accommodations, and we will continue to monitor the situation closely. The city is still working to determine what caused the blockage." Poop. Poop caused the blockage. We all know that. This one is from Lincolnshire, but it comes from cambridgenews.co.uk. Cambridgeshire Live. Builder hired to fix roof takes poo on it instead. There's our poop story. And right up top we have the photo that was making the rounds on social media of the roofer taking a crap on another gentleman's roof. A homeowner was shocked to find a builder he had hired to fix a leak had defecated on his roof. I would be shocked too if anybody defecated on my roof. The 38-year-old dad from Skegness said he thought he examined the company thoroughly before he hired them to stop the loft leak. But after inspecting the work, said he was horrified to find one member of the firm's staff had left a large pile of feces behind, which he claimed had even been put down his chimney. The grinning culprit had his photograph taken during the dirty deed before sharing it with friends. The homeowner, who wanted to remain anonymous, told our colleagues at Lincolnshire Live, "I needed a leak in my loft fixing. I saw an advert in the local brochure. I did my checks. It appeared to be okay, so I asked them to do the work. I went up on the scaffolding and noticed the feces." See, I don't think a lot of people who have their roof done go up to check the work. And with this company, they're not going up to check the work and not seeing the feces left behind. Just my guess. I was a bit disgusted. I had said to them I would provide toilet facilities in the house and they could use the kitchen when they started the work. Well, the kitchen seems like a weird place to go to the bathroom. They'd even shoved some down my chimney stack. It's dreadful behavior. The 38-year-old was then stunned to find pictures circulating showing one of the builders grinning at the camera in a photo while doing the act. Skegness is a very small area, he said. He sent the photos to someone and they found their way to me. I asked the director of the company about it and showed him the photos, and I felt he got very aggressive. That's an odd response from him. What kind of customer service is that? A customer comes to you, tells you one of your workers has been pooping on your roof, and you get pissy? Bad form. After refusing to pay, the homeowner was then forced to hire another company to finish the job and double-check everything had been done correctly. I had to get another company to finish the job because I wasn't certain they'd done a good job, he said. Lincolnshire Live contacted the building firm for a response. And that's it. Sounds like they didn't get a response. From the argus.co.uk, psychotic seagull vomits and shits on TV star's car after failed sandwich mugging. I feel like we do a lot of stories about seagulls. Birds in general on the show. Birds are kind of assholes. And here's another one. A psychotic seagull hell-bent on revenge after failing to steal a children's TV star's sandwich defecated and vomited on his car. Dave Benson Phillips was performing in Worthing when a pesky seagull swooped for a star of CBBC's game show Get Your Own Back's sandwich. But Mr. Benson Phillips refused to kowtow to the flying mugger in South Square, scaring it away, perhaps with a deathly stare. The flapping terror remained close by, the star said, annoying everyone in a nearby sandpit. Then, in a shocking and brazen act of revenge, the same seagull vomited and shit on Mr. Benson Phillips' car. And that's in quotes, vomited and shit, quote unquote. Are seagulls capable of revenge? The star asked his Twitter followers. He said, when performing my music set at the Worthing sandpit, a pesky seagull tried to steal my sandwich. I scared it away, but it remained at sandpit, annoying everyone. When packing my stuff away, the same seagull vomited and shit on my car. Once, one Twitter user asked, are you suggesting that seagull was getting its own back? Because of the game show, we talked about that earlier. If you are worried about how to protect your seaside chips from pesky seagulls, scientists, and that's scientists without a beginning S, believe the answer lies in an old-fashioned stare-down. The would-be feathered thieves are more likely to strike when they can swoop in under the radar, avoiding the gaze of their victims, researchers say. How do you spell scientist wrong? I mean, they completely left off the S. All right. The following has some security camera footage you might want to check out. You can find the link to this news article at www.otheritemsofinterest.com. Go to the link for the show and the show notes, and you will be able to find it and take a look at what this man has done. From dailystar.co.uk, shopper poos on floor of supermarket before kicking it under fridge. Shopper poos on floor of supermarket before kicking it under fridge. A little blurb here says, the cashier looked stunned as a little bit of poo escaped as he paid for his items. And then we already have a picture up top. He's wearing shorts, so it was an easy escape for that poo. And I think the fridge they're talking about is ice cream fridge. A shopper was caught on camera pooing on the floor of a supermarket before discreetly kicking his feces under a fridge. Feces under a fridge. That's hard to say. CCTV captured the moment the man seemingly defecated in his shorts in the shop and allowed the poo to run down his leg. I didn't think I was going to have a hard time doing this one, but it's grossed me out. I don't know. I've got a strong stomach for these kind of things. He then attempted to cover up his brown disaster by kicking a piece under a nearby fridge. The incident was filmed in Karasu, Turkey, and later shared on social media. Local media reports the unnamed man defecated in his shorts and tried to conceal one lump under a fridge, making a huge mess. One lump. There's another picture. I'm not sure what he's doing. I think he's actually in the act of pooing in his pants. Defecating, excuse me. Let's be classy about this. And there's the next picture. He's doing you can tell he's just kicked the turd underneath the ice cream freezer. You don't keep ice cream in a fridge. What are they talking about? He then nonchalantly pays for his items and leaves his mess behind him. In the footage, the caught short shopper is seen bending slightly forwards before walking towards the counter. He then leaves a small present on the floor behind him. While at the counter, he allows another lump of poo to fall down his shorts and onto the floor, which he then attempts to kick under an ice cream refrigerator. Sometimes when you're in the middle of doing anything in life and it dawns on you how absurd it is, like reading this article for people to listen to, it's a very strange feeling. It's I don't know what to call it. Time to rethink life choices? I don't know. And then we have another picture of him getting his stuff. And they seem to have blurred out his face in all the other photos except, I think, the fourth or fifth one down for whatever reason. He looks like a serial pooer. I don't know that for certain. I'm joking. I don't want him to arrest me. Sue me, not arrest me. What is he, a cop? Turd patrol? However, instead of concealing the turd, he ends up smearing it across the floor with his blue Crocs. Sorry, that struck me as funny. However, instead of concealing the turd, he ends up smearing it across the floor with his blue Crocs. You gotta be careful with the Crocs. Crocs are full of the holes. You don't want any of your poo to just get impacted in there. I wouldn't think. I don't wear Crocs. I don't poo on the floor either. The male cashier arrives and appears to inquire about the first lump of poo left in the aisle. However, the nonplussed shopper carries on as if nothing had happened. Way to play it cool. At the end of the clip, the man pays for his items and leaves behind a messy collection of feces for someone else to clean up. It is unclear if the supermarket are investigating the incident. And that's it. That's all I got for this one. That's all there should be. I hope they find justice. Stop this guy from doing it again, but I don't know what you're thinking. What's going through your mind that you gotta go to the bathroom in your pants, in your shorts, and then you try to hide one and you just smear it on the floor. At that point, you know you're caught. You have to apologize and say, hey, you got some paper towels and, I don't know, Windex. I don't know what you clean poo up with, but you got to clean it up. Okay. From Fox5NY.com, Fox 5 New York. Community pool closed because someone kept pooping in it. You got that? It's not like somebody pooped in it once. They kept pooping in it. The Buckingham Recreational Facilities Association has a public service announcement for its visitors. Stop pooping in its pool. In a notice posted Friday afternoon, the association's president said the community pool had to be closed because someone has been defecating in the pool. And yes, they believe it was on purpose. Oh, man. Yeah, of course it was on purpose. Serial pooper. Due to the frequency over the past week, we believe this is intentional, read the statement. The neighborhood pool is in Macomb Township. They give the address here. I don't see the point, but I'll do it anyway. Located at 50483 Crusader Drive near 23 Mile Road. Very pertinent information. In response to the repeated offense, the board's president said they are reviewing attendance logs, and recorded videos. Rest assured that we are following published guidelines to restore the pool to a safe and sanitary condition. Serial pooping problems have plagued Michigan communities in the past. In 2014, the Ypsilanti Police Department made contact with an individual who had been pooping on public park slides. That's actually that's mean. Because when you're going down that slide, you don't have time to stop if you see a turd at the bottom. To lock down any chance of more feces showing up in its pool, the Buckingham Recreational Group said it has also hired a second pool attendant who will oversee duties. Who wrote this? They knew what they were doing. Duties. Oversee duties at the pool. However, the recent hire means the annual carnival put on by the association will be canceled. Oh, that really took a turn for the worse. This serial pooper ruined it for everyone. All right, well, let's just hold on for a second. Let's go on to the next story. You want justice? Here's your justice. From mlive.com. Michigan pool pooper caught on camera, banned for summer. How about that? A two-parter. A lot of it's going to be the same information. A serial pooper in Metro Detroit has been identified. The Buckingham Recreational Facilities Association, which oversees the day-to-day operations of the subdivision pool located near 23 Mile Road, east of Romeo Plank Road, I don't know how to pronounce it, or how they pronounce it, in Macomb County, said it was working to identify the mystery pooper last week. On Thursday, the organization's board president said the person responsible has been caught on video. According to the notice, the member responsible will not be allowed to return to the pool for the remainder of the season. I think that's a swell idea. Various restitution options are also being considered. A pool attendant has been hired to remain on site until the end of the summer to help ensure unnecessary pool shutdowns don't happen again. And if you live in the area, they'd like you to know the reopened pool's summer hours are 9:30 a.m. to 8:30 p.m. So there you have it. Justice has been served. There's not enough justice on this show, I don't think. So this feels good. Puts a warm, fuzzy feeling in my heart. The following story comes to us from Newsweek.com. I find this one very funny. Motorist flings dirty diaper out window, hits state trooper's car. That's some funny shit. A motorist in Indiana is in trouble after a dirty diaper flung out their car window hit a state trooper's cruiser. Indiana State Police Sergeant Stephen Wheels was driving down Interstate 65 in Johnson County when a soiled nappy flew out from the back seat window of the vehicle in front of him. Whoops. The diaper bounced off his squad car, which was reportedly not damaged in the incident. Yeah, if that diaper damaged a state trooper's vehicle, what are you feeding that baby? Time to change that diet. I was heading home after working the Indiana State Fair, tired and wasn't really expecting it. Wheels told the Indianapolis Star. It hit my car and bounced a couple of times. It's not something I could really let fly. Yes, that's something you don't expect, a flying diaper to smack into your car. I've never expected it. Never heard of it before. He said he had no choice but to ticket the driver. Littering is always bad, Wheels later tweeted. Sergeant Wheels of the troopers. Littering by throwing a used diaper right out the car window in front of a police officer is asking for a ticket, especially when the diaper hits said police officer's car. And they included his tweet in the story here. Sergeant Wheels includes emojis in his tweet, which is funny. Especially when the diaper hits said police officers, and there's an emoji of a car and a face with a raised eyebrow. Cute. It's been a big month for not very bright motorists. Should I read this shit? The rest is about other drivers making bad mistakes. Why not? It's been a big month for not very bright motorists. Last week, an Iowa woman fleeing police called 911, claiming the car she was driving had been stolen from her. Authorities say Rachel Thornburg had made the call in an attempt to throw cops off her trail. A driver was arrested Friday on Long Island after allegedly impersonating a police officer and trying to pull over a van full of police detectives. The fake cop reportedly activated emergency lights and sounded an air horn as he attempted to pull the van over. When the occupants, all members of the Nassau County Police Department's electronics squad, identified themselves, he fled the scene. He was later picked up by highway patrol officers and charged with criminal impersonation, reckless endangerment, and fleeing the police. Elsewhere in New York, a driver fleeing police slammed into a hot dog truck, injuring 3 people. The driver's Jeep Grand Cherokee hit a Hyundai, then continued 100 yards across onto grass before hitting the stand and a parked Nissan Altima. Wow. And now we're moving on to dim pedestrians, what they call dim pedestrians. But dim pedestrians have gotten in on the act too. Earlier this month, a suspect fleeing cops in Australia accidentally ran straight into a prison. After ditching a stolen Toyota truck, the man fled on foot and climbed a fence into a farm owned by St. Helier's Correctional Center, a men's prison. A lot of bad drivers. A lot of drivers doing stupid things. I can't wait until we all have self-driving cars. We don't even have to have them. They can just be rentable. You get your phone out, you click on the app, you get a Google car, Apple car, Lyft, Uber, whatever. Who's ever got the first drivable rental car? And you say, hey, pick me up. And one comes and gets you, takes you to where you want to go. None of these bullshit shenanigans. Okay? Okay. From WGN-TV, Chicago's very own Channel 9. Suspect passes gas so loudly, law enforcement is able to locate his hiding place. That's right. Law enforcement in Northland relied on some basic senses over the weekend to help them track down an alleged criminal. A spokesperson for the Clay County Sheriff's Office posted a photo on Facebook of the search and added that while officials were searching, the person passed gas loudly. So loudly, in fact, the sound gave up the suspect's hiding spot. I'm sorry for laughing. We've got to give props to Liberty PD for using their senses to sniff him out, the Sheriff's Department added. According to the Sheriff's Department, the individual was wanted for possession of a controlled substance. There's some kind of picture at the bottom of something going on. I don't know what. That's it for that story. Short and sweet. Maybe not too sweet, but short and loud. And the stories get stranger as we get towards the end of the show. I don't know if listeners have picked up on that, but that's how things work. From azfamily.com, Phoenix man on poop crusade makes chalk messages, circles poop left on sidewalk. And right up top is a picture of a couple of poops circled with chalk and a message written in chalk. I can only read part of it because all it says is who's walking. A North Phoenix man says he's tired of pet owners not cleaning up after their dogs. Ain't no excuse, pick up that deuce, said Carl. If your dog drops a poop, you better have a scoop. Carl is using humor to address the problem. He wrote a chalk message you'll find near 32nd Street and Sweetwater Avenue saying, I'm not even mad at your dog. It wants what we all want, to wake up healthy and take a poop. I'm mad at you, the owner, for not cleaning it up. Good dog, bad owner, be better. He said he started writing messages like that around the neighborhood in May. He doesn't know who is responsible for leaving the poop. I just started circling the poop on the sidewalk, and then after a few walks, it just turned into a thing, said Carl. My neighbors enjoyed some of the poo murals I was coming up with. He was making murals? I just thought he was circling poop and writing messages, but he was making murals? That's quite impressive. The city of Phoenix said it can't do anything about poop left on sidewalks. There's a Maricopa County Department of Environmental Services statement, but it's like city code. I really don't want to read it because it's boring. I'm just going to read it as fast as possible. All right. Per Maricopa County Environmental Health Code, Chapter 11, Section 1B, manure and droppings shall be removed from pens, stables, yards, cages, and other enclosures at least twice weekly and handled or disposed of in an approved manner, free of health hazard or public health nuisance. Chapter 1, Regulation 3 establishes that the owner or person in charge of a property has the duty to take all necessary, reasonable, and usual precautions to keep, place, and preserve the same in such condition, and to conduct and maintain the same in such manner that it shall not be dangerous or deleterious to the public. Based on the MCEHC, Environmental Services Department will respond to complaints of animal droppings to ensure that property owners maintain their property free of public health nuisance. Oh. So it wasn't very interesting, I know. That's as best as I could do. The county said if Carl were to reach out to them about poop on the sidewalk, there is nothing they could do since it's not on private property. The city of Phoenix also said there is no ordinance addressing pet owners who leave poop on the sidewalk. So the city cares about what's on a private person's property, but they don't give a shit, no pun intended, about, the sidewalk or the street or a park, which we all pay taxes for. Sounds about right. The city's statement said the city of Phoenix has city ordinance addressing trash and debris on private property. Neighborhood Services Department oversees the enforcement on a complaint basis. If private property homeowners have an excessive amount of litter or debris on the property, there are possible citations. Carl said his neighborhood has no homeowners association, which is why he made it his duty to address the duty. And we have another picture of it's a rather artistic photo of duty circled in blue and pink chalk. I can't read the message. It's upside down and cut off. And then we have yet another piece of duty on the sidewalk with the big quote I read up top where he says, good dog, bad owner, be better. So good on that guy, I guess. Keeps him busy from getting into other trouble. No picture of Carl. I'd be really curious as to know what Carl looks like. I wonder if I said poop more in this article than I did at the Japanese Poop Museum article. Because I said poop a lot in that one. I don't think I'm even close with this article. Anyway, you should really pick up after your dog. Don't leave it on the sidewalk. It's gross. Those are the best words of wisdom I have. From sfgate.com, San Francisco. They want you to know people are pooping more than ever on the streets of San Francisco. And this is where you'll want to check the show notes for links because there's plenty of pictures and charts and graphs. One of America's wealthiest cities has a huge problem with public poop. Between 2011 and 2018, San Francisco experienced a massive increase in reported incidents of human feces found on public streets. In 2011, just over 5,500 reports were logged by the San Francisco Department of Public Works. In 2018, the number increased. I'm still giggling, I'm sorry. the number increased to more than 28,000, and that's 2018. The government watchdog opened the books, documented the sharp increase over time in a stunning chart, first spotted by the BuzzFeed editor. So yeah, there is a chart, human feces incidents by year in San Francisco, and it starts at 2011 with about 5,500 cases. Next year goes up about 1,000. Next year goes up about 2,000. And we have a pretty steady increase until 2017. We're all the way up to 20,000 incidents of street poop. The year before that, in 2016, 18,000. But from 2017 to 2018, we jump 8,000 units of street poop from 20,000 to 28,000. That is unacceptable by any standard. No. The article goes on to basically say they're working on it. The city employs a poop patrol that attempts to keep the streets clean. So if you go to San Francisco, watch your step. I think we're going to end the show on a happy note. There's been some weird stories today. From MiamiHerald.com, even poop is cute at Japanese museum that encourages play. And there are a lot of pictures with this one. They are impressive. Pictures of, not real poop, but like emoji poop. It's Japanese cute, you know. Japan's culture of cute makes no exceptions for poop. It gets a pop twist at the Unko Museum in Yokohama near Tokyo. Here the poop is artificial, nothing like what would be in a toilet, and comes in twisty ice cream and cupcake shapes, in all colors and sizes. The poops are colorful and come out nicely in photos, said Haruka Akubo, a student visiting part of the museum devoted to all-important selfies. The shape is so round and cute. She was also quoted as saying, she's right. In Japan, little poop-shaped erasers with faces and other small items have long been popular items collected by children and sometimes older folks. As elsewhere, scatological jokes are popular and bodily functions discussed openly. A recent morning variety show by public broadcaster NHK featured tips on how to deal with farts. Visitors to the museum get a short video introduction and then are asked to sit on one of 7 colorful, non-functional toilets lined up against the wall. Music plays as a user pretends to poop. Then a brightly colored souvenir poop can be collected from inside the toilet bowl to be taken home after the tour. A ceiling-high poop sculpture in the main hall erupts every 30 minutes, spitting out little foam poops. The unstagenic area of Instagram-worthy installations includes pastel-hued flying poops and a neon sign with the word poop written in different languages. In another room, players use a projection mapping game like Whack-A-Mole to stamp on and squash the most poops they can. In another game, participants compete to make the biggest poop by shouting the word in Japanese "unko" as loudly as possible. A soccer video game involving controller to kick a poop into a goal. Toshifumi Okuya, a system engineer, was amused to see adults having fun. It's funny because there are adults running around screaming, "Poop, poop," he said. At the end of the tour, visitors get a bag to carry home their souvenir poop. If they want still more, the museum's gift shop abounds with more poop-themed souvenirs. The museum attracted more than 100,000 visitors in the first month after its opening in March. It will remain open until September. And there are several pictures associated with the poops, which I can't seem to find on the page, but I explained everything that you would see. So there you have it, poops. I don't think I've said poop so much in one article, in one story, ever. So poops to everybody. Cue the music. And that's the end of our special edition on poop. From Other Items of Interest and your host, Jack Zablocki, we wish you farewell. Good tidings, goodbye, see you later, and maybe we'll see you next week. Bye-bye.